What's up, H fam? Thank y'all so much for tuning in this Sunday. I hope your new year is going very well. We've been in a brand new collection of talks, brand new series, Going Higher. If you missed last week, man, you gotta go back and catch it. It was about what do you want? Today, we're talking about what's stopping you. Go ahead and share this with someone. But in the meantime, welcome to the Connect Corner, where the plants are fake, but the people definitely are not. Today, I got my sister with me, a good friend. Just had a pleasure getting to know her more and more, especially got a chance to get to know her as we serve together in Higher Kids and Higher Youth. Thank you for joining us, Javonne, Steward, but the kids know you as Miss JoJo.
Miss JoJo, what's up, everybody? How y'all doing?
Doing good, doing good. How you doing?
I am doing well, actually. Doing well.
That's good. Thank you so much for joining us. It's such a pleasure for having. It's been good to see you with the kids. You're doing an amazing job, by the way.
Thank you. I love them kids.
No, yeah, they love you too. I know they missing you, but you're here. Thank you for joining us, and we just want to connect with you, learn a little bit more about Javonne, Miss JoJo. We just want to know about you. So, real quick, how did you even end up here at HD? Let's start there.
Oh, that's so interesting. Well, if you really want to know, I was on a dating app.
Okay.
And,
this is good.
Yeah, it was. This was 2017. I was on a dating app and met a young fella. Will not say his name. But we quickly realized that we weren't for each other. But I asked him what church he went to. He said Higher D. He said when he goes to church, he goes to Higher D. So
When he goes.
Got you. And so, like 6 months later, I was like, let me just go, look at the church. And then I saw a young fellow that I used to work with who used to lead worship here. I can't think of his name, but he used to lead worship here. And I was like, oh, he goes to the church? I was like, oh, that must be a solid church. And that's how I actually decided
to start here.
To start coming, yeah.
That's crazy, man. Through a dating app. Gotta get you where you need to be.
He will.
However he need to do it.
He will, yes.
And so you've been here, at HD now, 2017. So going on your fourth year.
I actually didn't start coming until 2018.
Okay,
actually.
2018.
Yes.
Okay,
So,
little context right there.
Yes.
Got you. So you came here, and what has it been like since you've been here?
You know what? I came here from another church, a church that we actually fellowship with, Elevate, Pastor Barber's, Brandon Barber. And I served in children's ministry over there, and my time was up there. And so I came here, and it's been like I sat for a minute. I was like, I'm not going to serve. I'm not going to do anything. And then just like...
Not because you didn't have the heart to serve, right?
No, because I just wanted to sit.
Yeah,
I just wanted to chill. And then you can only sit for so long till you got to get back into doing ministry. And so it's very interesting because like when I used to see you get on stage, I used to say, I'm going to work with him. Like I'm going to work alongside him. And I didn't even know you. And then one time I went to Elevate for like a random worship service and I saw you and I was like, oh my God, I didn't know that they like knew each other. So I just knew like I was at the right place when I was here. And so, when I saw you, I was like, I'm gonna work. It's like I manifested you and your wife. I don't know. Like,
Nah, I don't either. Cause I remember when you came, I think it was like a leadership event we had and you came up to us and spoke and I was like, who is this woman talking to? But hey, you said it. You was like, I don't know.
Yeah, I already know. It's like when I see things, when I know things are going to happen, it just kind of like happens like that. And come to find y'all like, y'all my little brothers and sisters.
We love you for real. It's been such a joy. So it definitely happened and that's great. Definitely love the Elevate fam and it's been such a joy to get to know you. But in conjunction with, this new series, right, Going Higher and living the life you were created for. I've had the privilege to kind of pay attention to you. You have definitely, I know you work for a financial firm, right?
Yes, financial institution, yep.
Financial institution, but I've also had the privilege of knowing your passions for pouring into the next generation that you didn't start doing that here at HD. Like you said, you were serving in kids ministry at Elevate People. And even that you have Pillow Thingy, which is all about, and I'll let you explain a little bit more about that, but you had Pillow Thingy, which was for kids. And I even remember seeing your P31 podcast where you were breaking, I pay attention. I pay attention.
Proverbs
And
31.
yeah, your Proverbs 31 piece where you would just be sharing scriptures with kids and ways they could remember it. So serving and like pouring into this next generation has always been something on your heart.
Always.
So could you just speak to like, definitely we talked about what do you want last week. Could you just kind of speak to how did you get to the place to where you knew you wanted to impact the next generation? And then I know you got something else right now, but I'll let you talk about that.
I want to say that started somewhere around the time when I was 17 years old, at one of my, actually my adoptive parents' home. And that's when I actually started working in children's ministry, when I discovered that I actually like to teach kids. But actually, let me just take it a little back before then. When I was 15, at a foster home that I was at, I didn't think about this until later.
So you grew up in foster care?
I grew up in foster care. I spent 11 years of my life in foster care before I got adopted at the age of 16.
In Chicago?
In Chicago.
In Chicago.
In Chirac.
Yeah, got you.
So don't get it twisted. But yeah, so like when I used to go to, when I was like 15 years old, I used to go to Bible study, and I was very like, I loved like the Sunday school. We used to call it Sunday school, and I didn't think about this until later. Like I have this passion for teaching and learning, and so that is one of my gifts. And so naturally, around the age of 17, when I started like serving in ministry, like I gravitated toward children. So every ministry that I've been in, I've always been in the children's ministry. No other ministry.
Man.
Yeah.
And it's crazy just the connection through, like, definitely I'm sure like your childhood had a part to play in that. And you know what's, huge, just definitely kudos to you, the entire Hired Kids team, because the truth of the matter is, and this being a parent of 2 kids yourself, sometimes, and me too, like we don't always know what we're doing.
I don't.
And we always, even like sometimes the parents I love today, just being real, they weren't the same parents years ago.
Yes,
it takes time for parents to grow and mature as
true.
well. And that's one of the reasons kids ministry is so important, because you never know what those kids are going through throughout the week. So when they do come here, when they do experience Hired Kids, it's up to us to make sure that we truly connect them with somebody who has a relationship with Jesus Christ. Yeah,
because that is very important, because a lot of kids go through, like, people never, when we were growing up, people didn't believe us when we said we were foster kids.
Wow.
They just didn't. But you never know what a child is going through. Yeah. And so you have to be like, in the children's ministry, it's not a glorified, people kind of stray away because they think it's babysitting, but that's actually where you can make the most impact in a child's life, like for real, like I miss y'all kids. Like the questions that they have, like the insight that they have, the foresight that they have, like these are the next leaders, like these are the next leaders, and so we need to treat them as such. And so,
no, most definitely the next presidents, the next business leaders, and like to have the privilege from God to be able to have impact on a child's life, and it's so huge.
I never know who these little kids gonna be, but I know that I'm always treat them the same, and I just believe like they gonna grow up to do something great, and hopefully I've said something to them in the children's ministry that will impact their life. Because I remember my Sunday school teacher, and like he used to let me lead and teach in the class. You know what I'm saying? And so that's the kind of like hands-on style I use with the kids too, when we were in church and stuff. But
most definitely. No, that's so huge. So you was teaching even at the Sunday school. So it was just mapped out way back then, like.
Yes, I was leading. I was like really.
Did you ever think you would really like be doing this? Did you really think that was gonna be the thing?
Honestly, the real talk, my adoptive father used to say, my nickname is G. He's like, G, I didn't think you were gonna have kids, because I didn't think I was gonna be like a parent, because I, kind of like had my whole life mapped out, and
God is so much a better author, right?
Yes.
Right.
So it's kind of interesting that, I think because I love teaching kids, like they just absorb, you know what I'm saying? And they're so like, when you get a chance to impress something on somebody, you know what I'm saying, and you can build, I think that's more so the joy for me. Like I get to, you know, influence the next generation, you know, put my thumbprint on them.
Yeah.
So.
And you doing just that, man. I see the kids, you know, when we were in the building, I would see them like, Miss JoJo. Like they'd be so excited to
like
be in the class. Right, exactly. And you know, you just been doing so great. But not just with the kids, you got your shirt on. Cause you know you always repping. Like could you like just give us some insight on what's the no excuse today?
No excuse today is a mentality.
Okay.
It's like literally my mentality. Last year, somewhere around May, I joined a speakers academy, and my speaking coach said, Javonne, what do you want to be known for? Because I don't know if you know, I used to go by Princess Javonne.
Oh no, I remember. Yeah, Prince. Oh, because you got a book too.
I
forgot that, y'all.
She got a book.
She a beast.
Princess Javonne, A Story of Overcoming Obstacles. So people just started naturally calling me Princess Javonne. And so I was going with it. But my coach said, shout out to Jeremy Anderson, by the way. He said, Javonne, what do you want to be known for? And he was like, you got to drop that princess, you know, because you're going to lock yourself out of contracts and stuff like that, because people are going to think you're for girls. And your story is not just for girls. Your story is universal. Yeah. And so, so I thought about it, and I was like, you know what? I don't make excuses. I get stuff done. And so hence no excuse today. I gotta say this because she's gonna say something if I don't. My daughter, she has had a hand in everything that I do with business. And so yeah, that's how we came up with no excuse.
That's beautiful, by the way, just letting her have a hand. And if y'all have ever met Ava, she is definitely just a mini Javonne. Like she come with, she's definitely gonna be a game changer as she grows up. But that's great. Like no excuse today. Wow, just so on time for today's message, right? What's stopping you? You would think just foster care, challenges as you explained. You mentioned that you know your ex-husband, so that means you're divorced. You're here, single parent. It's been a pandemic, and now you got no excuse today. What's behind the no excuse today? What's behind all these obstacles that to the average individual easily I could see how it could make them frustrated, make them want to stop, quit, or even settle for something mediocre. But not you. You still pushing, you always grinding, achieving for what's next. What's behind no excuse?
It's a lot. It's a lot. It's the perseverance. Like never give up. Like, okay, we all go through obstacles, right? But you can't make an excuse as to why you can't accomplish the next thing in life. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like you really have to have this mindset, and you really have to have this spirit of perseverance to get through the next day. Yeah. And so that's what drives me.
Oh, that's good. And has HD played any part in helping equip this no excuse today mentality?
Absolutely.
I mean, you still here, so you like something.
Yeah, you know what? Here's the thing. What I learned, which is one of the reasons why I really thank God for this ministry, is because like this ministry has helped me to foster relationships and collaborate more, because I didn't do that prior to coming here. And there's a young lady by the name of Marsha who went to Elevate, and she used to say, the children's ministry is your safe zone. Like, you need to start talking to adults. And I'm like, I don't talk to adults. You know? But since I've been here, I've really learned how to, it's different. It's different. It's like it's a camaraderie, a family, and that's the one thing that I love. Like, y'all are really genuine. And I just came out of nowhere. I know people were like, who is she? You know, I just showed up on the scene.
You did. You popped right up.
Right in. Yeah, y'all just welcome me with open arms, and I appreciate that. Like that, so
no, that's good, and we're so glad to have you. The entire family love y'all, and service is about to start. So if you haven't already, share this with a friend. But we got more conversation about Javonne happening on our YouTube page, so be sure to go check that out. You can hit the playlist, the Connect Corner, and you can finish this conversation with Javonne, Miss JoJo. But right now, I hope you have an amazing HDC online experience. So, Miss Javonne.
Yes.
No excuse today. Chirac, all that, right?
Fuck, Southside.
There it is, be you. Okay. No, I love it, because that's definitely your personality,
Yeah.
and you have such a, like, I think it's been one time, literally just one time, and it was recent, you already know what I'm talking about, where I didn't get that joyful, mood from you. But it don't matter, because I ain't let you linger in that for not 3 minutes.
That's the one thing that I love. Like, you didn't let, I love that. Like, you picked up on, like, okay, something off about her. And so let me diffuse her, because I was full of wrath.
Yeah, I can feel it.
Yeah, so it's like, with me, it's either one extreme. You either feel that positivity or you feel that wrath. And so I'm in therapy to kind of help me to balance all of that. And so
therapy is good.
It's good to have people around me to, diffuse me, and I got over it real quick. But,
you did, you snapped right out of it.
Yes, because I'm a work in progress.
Most definitely, and we all are. And speaking of being a work in progress, I think that's something that people gotta, that's another reason why, like, no excuse. Like, it's a work in progress. You gotta just keep going at it.
Every day.
You go mess up, you go have some shortcomings, but no excuse today.
You may have had an excuse yesterday or the week before, but
not today.
Every day you wake up and you're like, no excuse today. Keeps you present and in the moment.
Who would you say from the Bible inspires you the most with this no excuse today mentality?
Let me just tell you, that would be Moses, hands down.
Okay.
Bam, because you know how when God called Moses and Moses started stuttering.
Yeah. Right.
Okay, God. Okay, I'm gonna send this. I'm gonna do this. And Moses is like, really. I think I'm like, that's the one person I identify with in the Bible. I just want to make it to the promised land and not be angry, like Moses,
because he didn't make it.
Because he got angry. Rock. And so that's where that's why I'm in therapy, to help me so I can see the promised land. But yeah, Moses is definitely somebody who made excuses. And then the second person that comes to mind would be Jonah.
That's good.
Which is another person I identify with because, okay.
Well, Jonah ended up fixing it. He did end up making it to his destination. So that's definitely better than the Moses illustration. But that's so good to even recognize that. And that's something that, like, what do you say? I know you're speaking, you're encouraging people more. Like, what would you say to people on just, like, man, you gotta, no excuse today, right? So, like, how do you identify the excuses and then handle them? Because it's not like the excuse comes from something. Some type of problem comes into place that makes us want to be like, okay, never mind.
Yeah, it comes from fear, actually. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. And that is so true. You're either scared, fearful of your awesomeness, or you're afraid of what other people are gonna say about you, and you can't be either. You just gotta get over it, suck it up, and actually do it. And for a very long time, and the reason why I can say this because I made a lot of excuses. I used to say, oh, my ex-husband didn't support, or this happened, or I used so many different excuses. But it was a few years back, when I was forced to, to sit with my thoughts and, really have this conversation with myself. It's like, what's your excuse now? You can't blame this person. You can't blame that person. You need to get up and bust a move. And so a lot of times it's fear. People are afraid. And for me, I was afraid of all of this awesomeness that y'all see. And so I had to stop being afraid of it. And because one of the things that I know, to whom much is given, much is required, right? And I understand that I have, like, it's so much bigger than no excuse today. Like, I have purpose that will later probably will be revealed, God willing, later on down the line. And so I was, in a sense, like Jonah, trying to run from
Yeah.
it. You know what I'm saying? Because like, yeah, it's a heavy weight, I know, and I know that it's a responsibility that I have to carry, and so I was trying to run away from it, and so yeah, you gotta
Look
bust
it
a
in the
move.
mirror.
You just can't be afraid of. You can't be afraid of failing. You can't be afraid of success. You just gotta bust a move.
Yeah, and even the timing. Like you can't always wait. But I want to say that's Ecclesiastes. Like if you wait for the right time,
Yeah.
it will never happen.
Yeah.
So you gotta, suck it up, especially if it's something like God has given you.
Yeah. Okay, so that's the thing. When God has given you something, when you try to abandon it, it's just gonna weigh on you heavy. I tried to abandon.
And all the other stuff either go frustrate you or it ain't gonna go nowhere.
Like you can't abandon when God got something for you.
Yeah.
You got to do it, and He will. If He called you to do something and you keep trying to run away from it, so at some point you're gonna end up doing it. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna do what He said you're gonna do. I said what I said. You're gonna do what I said do, and so yeah, you just gotta do it. And I don't know how many lives I'm impacting by just showing up, being positive, you know what I'm saying? Doing what God has called me to do. I don't know how many lives.
Gotcha. And it's another thing as we get ready to wrap up that I'm gonna go ahead and throw out there that I know you got no excuse today. You like fervently no excuse on, I'm gonna find Boaz. I'm gonna meet him like you, and I'm right there with you. We be talking, I be praying.
Gleaning in the field.
Yeah,
you know
you been
what I'm saying?
gleaning.
I'm sure.
Boaz could be watching right now. We
I'm
don't
sure
know.
he's probably watching.
Yeah.
Hey. But you silly. Yeah, I have no excuse today. I have standards. I have things that I want that will come to pass, and yeah, so I'm not backing down on it. No excuse today.
That's good. And with those, if I may, what if they may not have it right now, but they got the plan?
I heard the
You ain't
Lord
got the time right now. No excuse right now. You ain't got no excuse.
Lord, here's the thing. I know, because God will give you the desires of your heart.
If you delight in Him. If you delight in Him.
Yes,
Yeah,
say that. And I do delight in the Lord. But here's the thing. God knows what I desire, and it is somebody who can build. Even if he had multi-millions, if it was stripped away from him, his identity is not
in that. That's good.
Because he knows where it came from, and he has a builder's mentality. So if it was stripped away from him, he know how to get it back.
That's good.
So that's
fellas.
Him. Okay.
Hey, you need to come to HD actually, because right here we build people to live a purpose-driven life.
I'm an alpha female. Okay, I just want betas beware.
That's funny.
Yeah. So, but yeah, he'll know how to get it back, and that's one of my heart's desires, that he gonna put his trust or faith in riches, because.
But as for today, you want him to come to the table with something.
Yes.
Hey, that's cool. It's all good. I get it. Yeah. You got kids, you a little further along in life. I can understand if it's someone around my age. I ain't gonna put your business out there, but someone around my age, you got a little bit more time to get it grind. You like, hey, I didn't make the excuses.
At a certain age, I feel like you should already know. A lot of people may not agree with me, but I think if you lived a little, if you've ever been married, I've been married twice. Just at a certain age, you could identify that's it right there.
You would hope after the excuse, like the problems and the falls, that now you know what you want for sure.
No, and I believe that's out there, so I'm hopeful.
No, it's definitely out there, and I'm gonna stay right here with you, praying for it, because I want to see you happy. I believe that you deserve that. I know you deserve that, and it's gonna happen. I would like to approve him, if I can, just as the little, your younger brother. Let me, because a couple times, actually, that last time you came in here with a little fit, that was the cause. It was someone that I didn't know about, so I didn't get to pray and vet the person, and now you was frustrated that day, and I had to reel you back in.
Yes, I will make sure that I bring any said suitor around my HD family, so that because the accountability is key.
Most definitely, because you know I'm be like, no excuse today. He can't. Yeah. But man, Javonne, this has been great. You are awesome. You're amazing. Thank you so much for sharing a little bit more about yourself with us. Before we go, if you could look into the camera for the individual who is making excuses, for the individual who thinks that, or who is letting their past circumstances stop them from getting what they want. For the individual who feels like God may not have anything for them, what would you say to that individual?
I would say stop making excuses today. You don't have an excuse. Like, there is no reason why you can't do what it is God put you on the earth to do. And if you don't know what that is, that's something you need to desperately search out ASAP. Because everybody came here for a purpose, for a reason, and you got to get about the business of doing what it is that you were sent here to do, because your life does not belong to you. You think it does, but it does not, especially if you are a believer. Please understand that everything that you do is not for you. The life that we are called to live is never for you. It's always for the upbuilding of the kingdom of God. Yeah. So you always got to keep that at the front of your mind and in the back of your mind, and bust a move, and no excuse today.
There it is, man. Javonne, thank you so much. This has been great. Hey, no excuse today. Nothing is stopping you except you. Hey, wake up, look yourself in the mirror, put on that armor of God, put on the love of God, and go out there and live the life you've been created for. Until next time, I hope you have an amazing week. See y'all later.